Is it cool?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 35 of the Great Western Podcast. I am your host, as always, Marc the Wizard, and we are joined by Jay, Lakers beat writer, NBA historian David Chu, and Coach Theory. What's up, boys?
Going on?
Morning.
What are you eating over there, Coach Theory? What's going on?
Cereal.
Cereal. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. So, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. So, I figured we're going to get started with a kind of a Valentine's Day special. Who's your NBA Valentine? Who's your favorite love and breakup NBA story and all of that? So, I'm going to get started with for this for you guys. Okay. So, years ago, out of Arizona, Lauri Markkanen was a player that I was really high on. I was so excited for him to come into the league, and honestly, he broke my heart by how poorly he played in those first couple of years. He bounced around the league a little bit, right? He went to Chicago, he went to Cleveland, all this stuff. He just wasn't the guy that I wanted him to be. He wasn't who I thought he was. He wasn't who I fell in love with at Arizona. Okay, so I'm so happy now that in Utah he has kind of taken flight. He became an all-star, and he's a top tier player, and he's everything I knew he was. He proved that my loyalty and my faith and my love for him was worth it. So, Lauri Markkanen, you are my NBA Valentine. Will you be my Valentine? So that's my little story
Nice.
on Lauri. Full of heartbreak, and elation and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So, I'm happy
Okay.
about that. Who's got one?
I'll go next. Um, as a Clipper fan, there have been three that stick out to me: Sean Livingston, Blake Griffin, and SGA. And more recently, I'm in the honeymoon phase with Benedict Mathurin. And
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and actually, I really like the name Benedict. And I that was one of the finalists for the name of my son. But my last name is Chu, and so
Wow.
we're like, you can't have a kid whose name is Dick Chu. So um, that one got X'd. But
Well,
I've
Benedict
been
means like benediction, right? It means like blessed and stuff like that, right?
I don't know what it means, but it's such a dope name. Like I'm surprised it's not
Yeah.
more popular. But I've been watching a lot of Benedict Mathurin highlights. Also went to Arizona. Uh,
Double Arizona, right? Right.
yeah, and it's really interesting right now because the Clippers, it's like he's an unrestricted free agent, so there's a chance he might not be on the Clippers next year, but this is his tryout period. So the game that they won against the Rockets, the last game they played before the All-Star break, Mathurin was really getting up playing defense in crunch time. And, how many people can say they dropped 27 points in game three of a finals against one of the best defensive teams we've seen in the past 20 years? So he's got a lot of potential. He plays both sides of the ball. And I think we're still in the honeymoon phase because he's only played like three games as a Clipper. But I hope he plays well at the end of the year and that we can sign him to a team-friendly deal. And he's a part of our starting shooting guard moving forward.
I think Mathurin had a lot of hype. He has showed up in the playoffs, but he's been injured a lot, and this year was his chance to really rise up, but he was injured again. So I
Mhm.
think the jury's still out on what kind of skill set, what his next level is. If he has another level, he needs to really build to his game. Of course, he can score. He's got that energy, but can he get rebounds? Can he get assists? Can he play better defense? Those are the questions for him.
I think he's a high-end role player. I don't think he's making any All-Star games, but just like a very solid high-end, like a better version of Courtney Lee or someone,
Okay,
like
okay.
an efficient defender, but he's never going to make a All NBA team. But like, hopefully, I'm wrong.
So Benedict is your Valentine. I like that. I thought you for sure gonna go Livingston, dude. Like no matter what. But I mean, he's current player, but whatever. Yeah.
Told is Jay
I
from
mean,
Clipper
don't you
history.
want to give Jokic a big bear hug sometimes?
I
Like if he's not.
love Jokic. I love Jokic. I
Uh,
wake up every
I think
morning.
that's well documented here on this pod.
I wake up every morning. I'm like, I can't believe like this guy only lives like 30 minutes from me. The best player on the planet.
next
Wow.
thing we hear on the Denver Post, crazed fan stalks Jokic and camps outside his house.
I
Approaches them
know.
in the street and starts speaking Serbian, even though
It'd be so good.
I know a handful of people that have run into him and
Wait,
his
hold
kid. Like
on,
he goes to the
David.
bars and stuff.
On your wall, do you have a poster of Jokic or just like his stat sheet? Like which one do you have up there?
It's what it is. It's one name, and it's his name, and it's the only person to ever lead the league in rebounds and assists in the same season, ever in the history of the
So
NBA.
it's just it's not even a picture of him. It's just his accolades.
Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing.
Just the
Right on.
stats for one
Yeah,
season.
no, look, you can only have one Valentine. We know this is not how it works out here. Okay. All right. So who's next?
Yeah.
Jay, Coach Theory. What do you guys got? The heartbreak story, love story, NBA Valentine. What does the NBA Valentine mean to you guys? Who's got one?
I mean, obviously being the Lakers beat writer, there's just so many ups and downs, highs and lows, greats, breakups, um, things that were really difficult to watch, but also appreciation for what was, you know. But if I'm gonna go a little off script and just say something I really miss is Gary Vitti on the sideline for the Lakers.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
What a cut. What a cut right there.
I think
Gary
Gary
Vitti.
Vitti
Okay,
was just
why? Why?
well because just the way that he cared for the players, and it was almost like he was an assistant coach. You know what I mean? Like he had this really calming effect, and you could tell that he really cared about what he did, and also the level of I guess like his skill set and you know how knowledgeable he was with sports medicine. And you know the Lakers saw, even though they're, well, maybe it's just a different time that they were playing basketball, but if they were hurt they were still playing. You know, like he had a way of like keeping everybody on the court. And I think
When did he
that
leave? How long has he been gone?
he left right
The year after Kobe retired, I think.
no, I think it was I don't think he was there for Kobe's second stint. I think it was Judy Cho or
Oh, that's
Right,
right.
right.
You're
yes,
correct.
I think it
Yeah,
was
the
like
Asian
after the
lady.
three-peat. I think it was
Yeah.
after the three-peat. So, but if you look, the reason why it's such a heartbreak now is because I think I just saw a stat on the TV where it was like, how many games have the Lakers all players missed this season, right? Between Austin Reeves, between LeBron, between Luca, and it's just like, yeah, a part of it is like the product of the game and how fast the game moves. Like when I was watching highlights the other day, and you could just tell like when Kobe was in the zone in his prime, like the game was just a lot slower.
Mm.
Like like people just moved a lot slower. So that's not to take away from like what Kobe was able to do in his prime or Jordan was able to do in his prime. It's just like the risk for injury has just gone up so much. And so I think like there is such a high value in making sure that your sports medicine team and your facilities and all the different stuff that you have, it's just such an important role to like keep your players on the floor. Because look, everybody's going down. SGA, I mean, you know, like all the big players are missing a lot of games, and who knows if that's like they're just deciding to sit them to give them a rest so that towards the end of the season they can, you know, have more juice. But yeah, I miss the I miss the care of the Gary Vitti, the great
I
Gary
love
Vitti.
that. I love big heart, big guy. That's
Big
that's
hard
that's
for
that's from
GB.
the heart. That's the whole point of
Yeah,
Valentine's Day. I love that. I love that, Jay. That's a very deep cut. Coach Theory,
yeah.
what do you got?
Well, spinning off of what Jay said, it kind of brought back nostalgia, and I'm gonna go with my boy Chick Hearn.
Dang.
Everybody loves Chick Hearn. I think he's a big part of why I fell in love with the Lakers. I was at his 3,000th game that he announced.
Wow.
That was against Karl Malone and the Utah Jazz, and Shaq made a game winner that day at the Great Western Forum.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't Chick have he's like his like there's like a
His jersey
microphone.
is retired.
He's like the
Yeah.
only is there any other commentator that's ever been retired?
Oh, he's got the statue too.
He has a statue. But
He has a
I'm
when I
sure
look
statue.
I'm
at
sure commentators have statues, but he's by far and away the greatest commentator of all time. Some language that we use commonly throughout the NBA we don't even know is attributed to Chick Hearn.
like what?
Swish,
Slam,
double
slam
dribble,
dunk.
Slam dunk.
slam dunk,
He made slam dunk.
Slam
He made
dunk,
slam dunk.
even slam dunk, air ball.
swish.
Yeah.
No harm,
Was
no
he so was
foul.
he there? Was he there for the first three-peat, but not the second Kobe's second championships, or was he there for when did he leave?
One day, well, he passed away in. Oh, that's a good question.
Because he was there for the first three-peat, right? Or no?
He
Did he have
passed
a
away in
retirement?
2002. So he passed away the
No,
year
the
after
middle
the
of it.
first three-peat.
Wow.
Yeah, I
That's
mean, yeah, a lot of that the ticky tack stuff, a lot of these things that are like staples of like what we call things in the NBA, all originated from Chick Hearn, and
So,
some of them are actually, I think, even double dribble or something like that. That became like
Mm.
rules.
Mark,
Let me look.
is the way that what is there a term for like the way that he would like, talk?
Chickisms.
Is it automatopoeia
for what?
for like
His
some of the
cadence.
stuff that he'd say, like his sayings,
I don't know. I don't know actually. I'm not sure.
isn't it? I feel like there's a term for that.
Yeah,
Like his
it's
like
his
his
cadence. It's just like the way
terminology.
that his
There you
rhythm.
go.
I mean,
Okay.
even garbage time apparently. I mean, I'm looking this up right now. Even garbage time. It might be onomatopoeia. I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right.
Yeah, but that's a
Oh,
good one. That's a
good
good one.
questions. Good question.
This is a
Here's
good
a
one,
here's
Mark.
a
I like
here's
it.
a trivia. What is a
What?
tattoo dribble? I don't even know this one.
The tattoo dribble? I don't know.
It's a
Is that
chickism.
a
It's a term
chickism? I don't
invented
know.
by Chick Hearn. A player dribbling the ball while not moving, as though tattooing the floor with the ball as he waits for the
Nice.
play to develop.
I
So
haven't
he
heard
just
that
had
one.
such a, in a way, he was poetic. He, because I started watching, actually, before I started watching, we didn't even have a TV. My bro and I, when we came from
I
France,
remember. I remember
we
that.
had a little alarm clock radio, and we used to tune in to 570 and listen to the games on the radio.
Man.
So
Wow.
I remember even as a kid, without the TV, he did such a good job illuminating the game, and it felt as if I was there in my mind. I could like see what was going on.
Shout out to
You
Chick.
Yeah.
know,
Great.
that's I mean that's a deep cut right there. So
Yeah.
nice job, boys. Okay, so hope you guys all like the Valentine's Day special introduction over there. We're gonna move in today to the All-Star game. The All-Star game is gonna be tomorrow, actually, and we are now in All-Star weekend. Yesterday was the opening night with the Rising Stars Challenge, the celebrity game, and all that. And today is gonna be the three-point contest and the slam dunk contest and everything. And tomorrow, of course, is gonna be the All-Star game. The All-Star game itself has a little bit of a lackluster image, I think, over the last several years because of the intensity of the game and all that stuff. So here we are. What are we excited about? What are we not excited about? What's fun about All-Star Weekend? What do we have to change? Are we excited about the players? Uh, let's get started. There's a lot of topics here to go
So
over.
can you tell us about the format? I wasn't too aware of it.
Yeah, who was saying, Coach Theory, you said you had an idea about the format of the game, right? What is
Well,
the current format right
so
now?
this year's format, we have one thing I don't like is they change the format every year,
Yeah.
and it's kind of as if they're just looking at ratings and they're like, "Oh, this year we didn't do as good as next year. What can we do?" And they're just trying to always maximize, product placement, advertisement, profit, and they measure that by how much attention span people, if people are tuning out to something else. Um, and they're always trying to tweak stuff. But the old saying, "Don't fix what ain't broke." I'm still a fan of East versus West. This year, World versus US, we've had that before, but not in. I don't think it was the round robin format last year. It just gets so confusing if year after year you keep tweaking it to the point where I bet you if you stand outside, what's it called, Intuit Dome, and you ask the average fan coming in, they have no idea how you're gonna win the game.
Yeah,
So
that
this
could be
year,
an issue.
yeah, this year's a round robin where you have three teams, which I don't even understand why we vote East versus West if it's just going to be World versus US, and the US has two teams.
Let's take a look at
Um,
those teams. Let's take a look at those teams
yeah, so
right
let's
now.
take a look at them.
Okay, so the USA has a stars team, and a stripes team. Okay. So on this team, we got Scotty Barnes, Booker, Duran, Chet, Tyrese, Jalen Johnson, Anthony Edwards, and Cunningham. These were all players that were voted in or through through the fan voting and then the coaches voting and then also like the reserves and stuff as well. This is a mixture of starters and reserves, I guess. So technically,
So that's one of the teams
yeah.
coached by JB Bickerstaff.
Then we got this team: Stripes, JB, Brunson, KD, De'Aaron Fox is in for Giannis. Ingram is in for Steph, LeBron, Mitchell, Leonard. Leonard made it, and then Curry, who's also not playing, coached by Mitch Johnson. And then we have the world team with Avdija, Luka, Jokic, SGA not playing, sadly. Jamal Murray, Powell, Siakam, Şengün. I guess they needed he's in for SGA. Cat and Victor and Giannis. I didn't realize Cat wasn't American.
Well, he
Um,
represents like the DR or
yeah.
yeah, DR and Norm Powell. I don't know, is he Canadian, or what
I
is?
know Jamal Murray is Canadian, but I didn't know Norman Powell is not
Yeah.
American.
Norman Powell's an
I think
all-star.
it's I think I don't even know if you have to have citizenship or obviously not residency, but citizenship from that country. You
It's
definitely don't
a
have to be born there. So I don't know what the rule is for whether or not you could be considered world.
I just looked it up. It says American Jamaican, so maybe like there's like a
Yeah.
Jamaican.
Maybe his
Yeah,
mother's half Jamaican. Who knows?
okay, so we have this. So then they're gonna play. There's
So
gonna be
then
like
they do a round robin, and then the top two teams move on to the championship game. I think
based
it's
on what?
12 based off the score, like who
Oh, okay.
wins, right? So USA plays stripes, let's say, or USA plays world, and if you lose, then you don't move on. Top two teams, every team plays each other once, and then the top two teams move on.
For
If
the
there's a
final.
tie, then it's the score difference, which I like the score difference because that means players play harder. But off 12-minute quarters,
Is it 12-minute quarters? Is it
sorry,
or is it
12
like is
it's
it a
12
tar
sorry, 12-minute games.
is it or is it like target score?
No,
No?
it's 12-minute games.
Yeah, see, it's like, yeah, 12-minute games. Like this stuff is what I'm talking about. Like
So
how are they
the reason I don't like that format is because let's say you're a fan of a certain player or players, or you're a betting man like myself who wants Victor Wembanyama to win the MVP. Well, your team, if they don't get past the first round, you don't even get to see them or they don't even get a shot at MVP, right? If you're a little kid who loves Victor right now,
right?
considering Shea's out, considering Luka might not even play, you might just see 12 minutes of basketball from him where he might not even be playing those full 12 minutes. So that's kind of the format I don't like.
You might see a game with Brandon Ingram and Jalen Duren like in the finals. Like
Yeah, well,
and Pascal Siakam.
just to push back a little bit against that, I mean, I like the idea of like seeing more players, like, but then, yeah, if they lose, they're out, or that's why they're playing twice. But it's hard. I mean, how are you going to get, you want to see competition, you want to see the best players out there. Is this going to increase competition? Maybe are they going to play harder because it's USA versus World? Jay, what do you got on this? What do you think about this format? Now that
Um,
the coaches explain it a little bit.
I'm just so confused by it that honestly, like,
I think most of us are.
I just kind of written it off. And then every time I see clips of, the All-Star game from 2002, the last greatest All-Star game there was, I just like, dude, I mean, how come people aren't playing like that still? That this was like a time for the players to test against each other and play against each other together and have these like incredible teams and see who was better, the East or the West. And somehow,
Yeah.
somewhere along the line, that product just got so diluted that now we got Brandon Ingram in the All-Star game.
Damn, Brandon Ingram catching strays out here. I mean,
Like,
yeah.
we don't need that. Nobody needs that. Like, come on.
I
Jeez.
talk about that. Talk about another Laker breakup right there, right?
So,
I
yeah.
remember saying Bi would never be an all-star. He made it
Two-time
twice.
All-Star.
He made it twice due to injuries both times.
So
Got handed an
is that an
All-Star.
asterisk? Is that an asterisk?
I mean, if you get added in because other players are injured,
So
Yeah.
that means you were next
it's
in
not even you
line.
got voted in, you got added in,
Yeah,
Well, I am going to watch the dunk competition, though.
yeah.
Who's in it? Do we know who's in it?
Dunk competition?
Carter Bryant from the Spurs is in there. He's
Oh
favored.
God.
I think Jackson
But
Hayes.
Jackson
Dude.
Hayes is, I give him a 0% chance of winning. I don't even think he'll make a dunk.
Did you see the East Bay the ball on a fast break?
Yeah.
That was
Put it
dope.
through his legs.
Jace Richardson, I believe that's the son of Jason Richardson, no? I
Oh,
believe.
maybe. Yeah.
I think he's a rookie play. He's a rookie or a second year player out of he plays in Orlando,
I
and
mean,
I
you got
Like
to
believe
who is
bring back Mac
Keyshawn
McClung.
Johnson? Who is? I've never heard of
I
this name.
that's actually for all the basketball I watch and all the things I look at. I've actually has he even played on the Heat much this year? I don't even know.
This is a joke. This is
You
a
It
joke.
gotta.
is. It is.
Yeah,
It is.
well, it's
So
hard.
y'all remember what happened the last 2 seasons, right?
Not really,
No.
honestly. Tell us. Give us a.
McClung had to come in and save
Oh
the
yeah,
dunk contest.
McClung came in and twice and won
He
it.
was amazing, but
That
he
kid gets
literally,
up
if it weren't
though.
for him, the
That
ratings would
kid
be
gets up.
horrible.
Yeah.
That kid
So
gets up.
so the last good dunk contest was when they robbed Aaron Gordon, when Zach LaVine robbed Aaron Gordon in 2016.
I agree. That was a great dunk
That
contest, and
was
Aaron Gordon deserved
epic.
it.
Yeah, that was epic. Actually, I remember I went to the Ja Rule Ashanti concert that night at LA
Of
Live,
course you
and
did.
one of the TVs outside while we were waiting again, there was a whole group of people around there. We were watching um, Zach LaVine take off. I think he did it between the legs from the free throw line. Something
Yeah.
crazy.
No, he did it. He
Yeah,
did a from between the he did. He also did a windmill from the free throw line.
yeah, it was sick. It was sick.
It was insane.
But now it's like, and now I mean, this is a joke. I don't even know who the people are, and
You know who Jackson is.
this NBA All-Star Weekend is just like it's a microcosm of the bigger problem with the league where the players really do not care. Um,
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
it
that's
was
fair. I mean,
interesting. I
yeah,
know,
that's fair.
yeah,
So I,
in our group chat
Yeah.
we were talking about how LeBron never won and Kobe did win, and that was like like stars should be proud. That should be a thing. It's like, oh, if you're one of the best athletes, you need to you need to win and participate in the dunk contest. But I don't know why LeBron never did it. There was was it T-Mac or Vince Carter came out and said that they were supposed to be in the early 2000s, LeBron, Kobe, T-Mac, Vince Carter, and Vince was the only one to agree to it, and no one else wanted to do it.
yeah,
But yeah, I
I
think this
wouldn't
is
go
just.
up against Vince either.
Vince with the honey dip. Is that what's
But
honey
could you
dip?
imagine? That would be legendary. We would be talking about that 20 years later if that
Yeah,
happened. That would have been
that would have
Yeah,
been the
I
greatest one.
remember. I remember them when I remember like Brent Barry won a slam dunk contest once or something. Like he jumped from
yeah.
the. I'm like, how did this guy jump from the free throw line? I mean, I remember the highlights of like Dominique Wilkins. I remember those classic ones, but like,
Mm.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't understand why the players are so scared or what the hang up is about doing the dunk contest.
I
They're
don't
all
know.
divas,
I
dude.
mean, what would be a reason? Maybe like I don't know, like they don't really, I don't know. Who knows? All eyes on
It
them. They
hurts their
don't.
brand. It hurts their brand.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
So ridiculous. I mean, look at what it did for Jordan's brand.
Yeah.
That yeah, maybe it's like
He created his logo from it.
How about this?
We literally just put up like a 80-foot jump man out front the Air Jordan dome down in Inglewood. That
Oh, okay.
iconic logo,
yeah.
beautiful.
It
Who
literally
would you guys
came
like
from
to
a
see
dunk
in the dunk
competition.
contest? Who would you
Huh?
guys like to see? Who would you like to see in the dunk contest this year? And if you could snap your finger and
Oh,
make a wish.
that's a good question. I'm trying to think who have I been seeing that can jump?
VJ Edgecombe for sure.
DJ would be
Yeah.
great.
I mean,
I
I'd
think
VJ
even
gets
have
up.
Stephon Castle
I was
over
gonna say
Carter
Stephon
Bryant.
Castle would probably light it up too.
Over Carter Bryant. Yeah.
Stephon Castle. I'm trying to think if there's another.
Yeah, there was one other guy, really powerful dunker.
Oh, Edwards. You got to get Edwards in there.
Edwards would
Anthony
be
Edwards.
crazy. Edward, yeah. If you get Ant in there, Ant would be
Like
good
that's
actually.
so he should be.
And
He should be.
who's the fourth? Who's the
That's
fourth?
a good lineup. That's the GWP podcast lineup.
Maybe Austin
VJ,
Reeves. Maybe Austin Reeves.
Stephon Castle, and who else explode? Who else jumps out of the building? You know, like is there a big guy who does it? Maybe
Oh, Zion.
Zion. Give him a chance. Give him a
Oh,
chance
Did
to
John
read.
Morant ever do a dunk contest?
He might
No,
have. That would have been a good one.
if maybe 5
Now
years
it's too
ago.
late in his
Now
career,
it's too
plus no
late.
one
Now maybe
cares.
5 years
Yeah.
ago. But I will
as
say, yeah, go for it,
as
Jay.
much as I talk about how tall Wemby is and he doesn't even have to jump to dunk, it still would be like pretty incredible to see him in a dunk competition.
They
Wow.
just have to raise
Just
the
so
hoop.
he could just test and see how high he can get. You know what
He
I
They
mean?
might
should
be able to
raise the
dunk
hoop
from the
like
three-point
3
line.
feet. They should raise the hoop 3 feet for him.
Yeah, I
Uh,
will say, what about like a Shaden Sharp,
Oh,
maybe?
Shaden Sharp would be good, but he's not a
Yeah,
big enough star, you know.
yeah. But I will say shout out to BJ Edgecombe. Yesterday actually was the NBA Rising Stars Challenge. And I watched all the games actually when I was having sushi. I was doing it early Valentine's Day. Um, VJ Edgecombe was like the MVP. He got
yeah,
he won the games and he got the buckets to win. And I kind of liked it a little bit that like the young guys were a little bit they play a little bit feistier because you don't they still have these guys still have a lot to prove in the league, and you kind of get to see like what's kind of the pecking order for these rising stars, right? And like Stephon
yeah.
Castle played well, and Dylan Harper played well. Some of these guys came to play. And I thought that was kind of cool. Hansen was in there, Klingon was in there. It was kind of a fun thing to watch because and I asked myself like, okay, well, which one of these guys are gonna be stars? Is Bub Carrington gonna really step it up? Is it gonna be? So I thought that was a kind of a cool thing to watch. I liked it. I remember years ago I was a big fan of Josh Okogie and he was in the Rising Stars Challenge and I was like, this guy's gonna be a star in the league. I was wrong. Maybe he played some minutes for the Rockets this year when they were hurt, but I
So
mean,
that was also a round robin format, correct?
yeah, so it was a round robin, but instead of 4 games with point totals, it was 4 teams, and I think that the winners played each other or something like
Yeah, yeah. So if you look at the minutes played by each team, it'd be like, or by each player, it's around 8 to 9 minutes. So
that. Yeah.
imagine if they apply that to the All-Star game and you're just stoked to see your favorite player and he gets 8 minutes and he's a starter. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so I just wanted to take a minute and chat with you guys about what kind of structural changes you might do, or I had a couple ideas that
Well,
I
hold
thought were
on.
pretty neat.
We'll get there. Give me 1 second. Let's look at
Oh,
this.
okay.
Let's look at this. I want to ask you. This is actually what came up to me now. What do you guys for these rising stars? Let's look at some of these names. Who's gonna be a star in this league if you had to choose, guys? Out of these guys, like
Cooper
Bailey,
Flag,
Flag for sure. Okay, that's an
Dylan
easy one.
Harper,
I like Bazelis. I think Bazelis's game can rise. Derek Queen.
Stephon.
On Knipple for sure. Next year is gonna be an
Okay,
all-star.
so Flag, Castle. Who else?
I'm I'm going Dylan Harper. I think Dylan Harper's got it.
They
He's got
can't
the
all be
bag.
stars. VJ. How about
Yeah.
Derek Queen?
Con
Bazelis,
Knipple.
Knipple. You got where we seeing Knipple down here? You know?
Shoots
Anyone
and
else? Kalel, where is your boy down here? He was in this game. He barely played.
Yeah, he barely played.
Reese Shea.
He is not.
I
Khalil
think
Ware
Derek
is not
Queen.
having the sophomore year I was hoping he would.
What
go
about
down.
Reed Shepard? What about Reed
Oh,
Shepard?
hey,
Huh?
this guy Yannick Niederhauser on the Clippers, he's really starting to come along.
He's the
And this is
reason
one
that
of
they traded. He's the reason that they traded. He's the reason
yeah,
they
this
traded
yeah, they played at
Zubac.
Zubats and he's young and he makes a lot of mistakes, big man mistakes that you would expect. But he's got good footwork, he's athletic, he's got length. Um, I think he could is gonna have a nice career, maybe like a Jared Allen, something like that,
Let's see.
like
Let's
a
see. I mean,
long,
like
9 to 10 year career where he gets paid $100 million.
that's why I like this game because it's like, well, who are these guys? Who are these guys who are gonna like ascend to the next level, and who's not? Carrington, Knuppel,
Let's
and I.
let's take a minute to look at these coaches and which one is out of place here.
Which
T-Mac, Vince Carter, Melo, or Austin Rivers?
which one doesn't fit? Yeah.
Austin
Austin
Rivers, dude.
Rivers.
I forgot Ron Harper.
Wow.
There's Ron Harper Jr. That's actually his
You know,
brother.
come on, Austin
Yeah.
Rivers. They don't love you like that, dude. I don't know how you got that.
How did this guy get this? How did he go up against T-Mac, Vince, and Melo?
The
Okay.
nepotism, dude, continues,
This
bro.
is this is this is team best players who never won a chip with Melo, Vince, and T Mac over here.
How would you guys rank those three?
And as the career,
If you're starting a
I'll,
team, if you're starting a team, who are you taking
I'll,
first?
probably Mello.
I would
Probably
take Melo. I would
Melo.
take I would take Melo
Oh,
as
I'm
well.
taking T-Mac.
No way, dude.
Yeah, I
I
mean
would
T
take
Mac's got better
I would take Vince
defense.
over T Mac. I would take T Mac third on this team.
What?
Yeah, I would take
I would
Melo,
go. I
Vince.
would go T-Mac, Vince, Melo. I go to the X
Yeah.
op.
If it's today's NBA, I'm taking Melo just because of the spacing on the floor. This guy would be averaging
Yeah, so
So many points a game.
yeah, I did like it, but it was like okay, 40 points and then whatever. So it was fun to watch. I think it's kind of more, this is the future of the league in a lot of ways, no? Right? Like maybe in three,
Yeah,
4 years, this like which
yeah.
one of these guys are going to be all-stars? All right. So, Coach Theory, I sorry I cut you off earlier. So you were saying you have an idea about
Well, I mean, I think I think many people who watch the All Star game agree that it's lost a lot of its charm, but I think there's ways to bring that back. I definitely have a few suggestions, and some of them have been like many others have suggested it too. One would be bringing a one-on-one, either fan voted or player calling out each other.
dang, one-on-one.
A lot
Yes,
of
that would
people
be
would do
dope.
that, and I think that would fill seats. I think that would, social media would blow up on it, et cetera, et cetera. If you had
One-on-one games.
Kobe versus MJ in the early 2000s, and then Kobe versus Bron, nowadays, who would you guys have go one on one?
I mean, I think Ant would be I would gladly play
Ant
one-on-one
versus
against
Harden?
anyone, you know?
Well, Wendy, I think, would win the whole one-on-one, I feel like, right? Like if Wendy plays someone one-on-one,
Depends. It depends how
I've
hungry
seen
you
them
are.
get
how is
beat.
Ant gonna stop Wendy?
Yeah, you can't.
Well, what if Ant gets hot? If Ant gets hot, is it like I mean, we play one-on-one. It's like
Oh,
when you score the
well,
bucket, you keep the ball, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like what's like what if
people
Ant
are
starts drilling threes and then like gets ahead? I don't know. Ant versus Wemby, that'd be crazy. What's
people
up?
people are able to hold Wemby at the free throw line. Like, people get up under him and they force him to take jump shots at the free throw line.
Is that like the Lakers a couple days ago when he scored like 25 points in the first quarter?
It was like 40, no? It was like
Is that it? Is that what Rui was doing to him?
yikes.
Yeah, you're just getting up under his legs.
Yeah, playing some box out.
But
No,
I
How
think
was
one
that?
thing,
So you guys we I got a nice FaceTime of you guys at that game. I was excited for you
yeah,
guys.
That
What
was a
how
good
did it
game.
see? Was that the first time seeing Webby in person for both of you, right?
No, I've seen them a few times.
Okay.
I've seen him a
Yeah.
few times too.
And
Yeah,
what
no.
what was your thoughts, Jay?
Oh my gosh, it was absolutely torching the Lakers. They had no answer.
I
Yeah.
mean, with about 4 minutes left in the first, he had 27 points, and I kind of look over at Jay, and I'm like, "Are we going to see 100-point game right now?" You
100.
know, but I don't think that'll ever happen with Wemby, just because if he's going for 25 in the first, they're going to have such a large lead that he's not going to play the rest of the second half. He
Right.
scored, I think, in the first half, he scored 37, and then scored 3 points in the second half.
They just
So
had no answer. Zero
yeah.
answer.
So
Well,
he'll be sitting most of those games. So I don't think he'll ever have an opportunity
Wimby
to go for
one-on-one,
100.
Wimby one-on-one would be crazy. But I mean,
I like
he's
it when he goes up against Chet or Giannis or
he's
players
kind
like
of
Yeah.
that.
dominated Chet. But I
Oh
mean, what
yeah.
about he's dominated Chet so far? I
I
think
mean,
in
he's
all their
dominated
one-on-one.
almost everybody. The only player that I've seen do a decent job on Wemby is Draymond Green and Randall. Julius Randall did an okay job on him.
Like
Yeah.
defensively, you're saying
Both
Yeah.
physical
Yeah.
players.
you
Yeah.
need yeah you need to be physical with him, not let him get to his spots because he can rise
Yeah.
up if you let him
Yeah.
play fluidly,
But
like
the thing is, his 3-point shot is improving.
yeah.
Yeah,
His
but that's not
middies
really
are
what they want.
improving.
They don't really want him shooting the three
No,
though,
they don't. But if you just happen to have a game where the defensive matchup is a bit more physical that day, the refs aren't blowing the whistle as much as they would or whatever, well, and you can't get down low because you're getting punked a little, well, then if you have a shot, great. Also, it'll get that defender out of position if he has to come out on you. So yeah, that's one format I think all the fans would love to see, and I'm very surprised that the NBA hasn't even considered it yet.
Yeah.
So that's one of them. I had two other quick suggestions.
Yeah,
One of
go
them
for it.
to bring the old heads back like me is do a 50-plus game with like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Cream. Make it half court, make it 21 or whatever rules you want to have, but just have the legends playing.
NBA legend. Well, that would not be like the All-Star game itself. It would be like another
No,
like
no, 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 no. It would just be part of All-Star Weekend, another
Legends game.
event.
That would be
Yeah.
cool. Who would
You
actually be down for
you
that?
get to watch like Robert Ory blow out his knee.
You can, well, that's why it's half court
Half court,
and
yeah.
it's 3-on-3. and you have maybe you have like I don't know like little like NBA Jam. You have those little circles that are like 7 point shots. You know, just
Yeah.
bring the legends and have them play, even if they're just standing around.
I do like the idea of like those like spots where there's more points or whatever. Like that could be like a cool thing. And I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
go ahead.
like 4 point shots,
Yeah, yeah. So that'd be
like
fun.
by
That
the
only
logo.
pop up. You could put an LED court, and just like NBA Jam, they only pop up for like 5 seconds at a time. Y'all remember that back
Yeah,
in the
That'd
day?
be sick. That'd be sick.
that yeah, LED core with lighting. I mean, I do think the one-on-one could be a cool element, but to replace the game, I feel like
No,
it's a
no, no,
bit of
no.
a
None of
stretch.
this is
Yeah.
to replace the game.
It's
This
like
is just
instead of.
During All Star Weekend, one of the events.
I thought they were
You
gonna
know,
do that. I thought
I
they were
think
gonna do the one-on-one.
I've never heard anyone talk about it
this
Oh,
is this is
other
the
than
least
fans wanting
interested.
it.
This is the least interested I've ever been in an NBA All-Star game. And I don't know if you guys remember we went to Valley Forge in fifth grade. We got Mr. Berger to get put the TV up and we could watch the
I do
95,
remember
96.
that.
You remember that?
I do remember that.
And that was we were like obsessed with it. We gotta watch the All-Star game. But yeah, I think this just speaks to the bigger problem with the NBA of players not carrying into the playoffs. And this is like a huge problem when you have teams like the Jazz who they trade for Triple J 3 first round draft picks and then immediately shut him down.
Right. He's out
And
for the season.
and it's actually the ironic thing is if you actually look at the best teams in the NBA like Detroit or the Spurs or the Thunder, they all tanked to get, so it's like from a strategy standpoint, it's actually the correct thing to do is to tank and to go after the real high end top talent.
I
And
mean, I don't
isn't
mind
it
it. I don't mind it honestly that much to tell you the
isn't
truth.
it
Well, from a,
ironic that
yeah.
OKC, their manager, I forget his name, is the one who pushed the league to find Utah
yeah,
because they want his pick, they want their pick,
yep,
but it's
yep.
protected.
Well, it's just a huge problem. The players don't care, and it's really diluted the product. And
Right.
when you go to an NBA playoff game, you're like, wow, you can actually see the diff. It's like basically like watching a different game, versus
Yeah, it's
regular
hard to
season.
watch NBA regular season nowadays.
But just because you're gonna tank and go for a draft pick doesn't mean that you're gonna pick the right player.
Good point. Good point.
You know what I mean? Like you
Good point.
don't. Not everybody is Sam Presti. Not everybody is
Yeah, you
what's
could
the
be
Minnesota
Sacramento.
GM.
You, for example,
Exactly. So I think yeah, it makes the game. It dilutes half of the like a quarter of the games that where shitty teams are playing each other. No one wants to watch it.
And
Then you ask yourself,
I think this year we're seeing tanking especially early because next year's draft class is projected to be one of the better ones. But
yeah.
I had never seen tanking start in January,
Before the
February.
All-Star break or right around the All-Star break. I mean, that's going to be the new line. I mean, there has been talks about, well, this is a little bit off of the All-Star game, but I do agree with you that the this All-Star game and the lack of enthusiasm from from the players and the fans basically is a a reflection of the of what's wrong with the two. One suggestion that I've heard is, well, make it less games. Instead of 82 games, go to 70 or 62 or something like that. And then I don't know, even extend the playoffs. I don't know, make a best of nine or make another play-in round or something like that.
Well,
Or
the season's too long. The season's definitely too long because we're getting injuries, So it's like, and if you shorten the amount of games, then each game means more for rankings. So I think,
yeah,
yeah,
but
I think that's clear,
the teams the teams probably the teams and the network deals probably wouldn't be able
right.
to support these player salaries. So do the players want to take less money? I don't think so.
Right. It's about money, but then the problem is then you have a game with like Jazz versus Sacramento where like Zach Levine they just announced Zach Levine's gone for the season, Where it's like you have backups of backups trying to lose games.
Right,
That's
right.
So
You
it's
have
tough.
players coming in. What was that? I saw that stat where like Markkanen and Triple J had like 80 points in the three quarters, and then they both sat the fourth quarter and they lost by three or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it goes to show you like the strategic elements. And well, if you're not going to win, why not? You could tank it. I mean, I like seeing the other players that are maybe fighting for a roster spot or seeing if they can make the team. But I understand that there's an element to it that's kind of like, all right, like it makes it kind of boring if you're like a if you want to take your kid to the game and they want to watch, if I want to watch my Valentine, Lauri Markkanen, come play against the Lakers, he's not playing, he's not going to play, or if he's
Yeah,
going to
Valentine.
no.
play a little bit. So I mean, there's definitely elements to it. I mean, uh, well, yeah, the money stuff. Obviously, it's always money, right? They're not going to make less games,
Right.
probably, but. I don't know. Anyone else? Any other ideas that make the NBA better? I mean, maybe they get us to like do like live broadcasts for Laker games or something like that.
That'd be sick.
That'd probably be
Well, I
helpful.
think they introduced betting into the NBA, and I think it's like now kind of like they're like trying to maybe backpedal on it because they're like so many of these prop bets are influencing the way that these players are playing.
That's a good point
That's a
too.
good. That's a good point. That's a
The
very good point.
over the kind of the opening the gates here, the floodgates, so to speak, about proposition has really changed the way people view the game, and what they see and what they
How the
look at.
players play it.
Yeah, how's players? Yeah, like whether like yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a very, very good point. But
I
Well, they
bet you all these players, the majority of these players, if their over under is 9 points or whatever for the game, do you think Nick Batum knows his points over and under? Like he's like the ninth man on the Clippers when he goes in, like he's like, oh, they put me to score 3.5 points. Do you think he thinks about that in the game?
More
I'm
and
sure he does.
more, more
more
and
and more
more they
so,
do.
yeah, they
Yeah,
must.
back in the
More,
day, people that didn't care, but now it's just like social media. You see ads for it all over your social. So if anyone's on Twitter or on Instagram, they can see all this stuff. I think one way to kind of limit that, because obviously betting on the under is just too easy, and then going out and like purposefully missing shots.
yeah, we talked about
You
that,
see
right?
you see memes about it everywhere, but I think maybe um, having some sort of structure where if you hit your overs, you get a percent of something, some cut, or you get a bonus or whatever. Then that incentivizes everybody playing hard instead of missing their
Yeah,
shots.
but then you have where these numbers are being generated by non-league entities, right? Like,
Right.
so
So
it's like
you'd
how
have
can
to
you
have
balance that,
you'd
right?
have to, exactly.
And yeah, I don't want to get too far into the betting aspect of it, but I do think that has affected the game. Like
Definitely.
like we've talked about before, with the amount of running and the injuries and stuff. Is it because of the game itself and the athleticism and like the actual the wheels falling off the players, or is it like they're just soft? Like who is it? What they're saving them?
Myriad of things. It's a
Yeah, it,
myriad.
it, it has to be all of them.
Yeah.
But well, look, I will be saying, I mean, look, are you guys gonna watch the dunk contest tonight? Are you gonna watch a 3-point competition? We didn't even go over
No,
that one. You're gonna watch a
no.
3-point competition? Do you even care who's in it? Well, I'm
I
gonna
I think
tell
I
you
know
it's
anyway.
Collins.
I'm
it's
gonna
I'm
show
gonna
awesome
you
that
watch it.
anyway.
Lillard is still in it.
I'll
Yeah, I
show
love
you.
that Lillard's in it.
Yeah.
Knuckle. Come on, chew your boy.
I'll watch
The
that. I'll
greatest
watch
shooter
that.
of all time. Knuckle's in it. Tyrese Maxey. This could be good. Mitchell, Murray, Portis, and then your boy Powell. I'll probably put this on if I can.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Who do
This
you who do
this
you
Great
is
guys
call.
got?
this is way more interesting than the All-Star game though, for
Who
sure.
do you got? Who do you
It
guys
is.
got? Jay, who's
It is.
winning this? Jay, who's winning this?
I'm going for Jamal Murray. He's a dog.
Jamal Murray. I like it. A little bit of dark horse. Chew.
Con.
You got to go con. Still,
Oh,
I mean, I gotta go with my boy Lillard.
you're going with Lillard. You're going with
Yeah.
yeah.
Lillard. Well,
Who
I'm
you
gonna
going with,
go.
Mark?
I'm gonna go with your boy. I'm gonna say the first time All-Star Norman Powell got something to prove. He's gonna win this.
He's gonna win. Okay.
He's
Oh,
That
Norman
guy can
this is
Powell.
that guy can
actually, you're
shoot.
right,
He can
Chief.
shoot.
This is way more interesting.
This to me is more interesting than the dunk competition for sure
Yeah.
because you actually see
100%.
like if someone gets hot and starts shooting threes. So
That's
I
gonna be fun
So
to watch.
a
the
little bit of love.
odds say Con Knuckle is plus 240, meaning if you were to bet 100, you would get 240.
Wow.
Damian Lillard is second favorite at
So,
plus 400.
Knipple is hot. Knipple is the lead is supposed to win this.
He's the
Damn,
favored. He's the
he's the
favorite.
favorite. He's the favorite rookie. That's pretty crazy,
But keep
actually.
in mind, you're playing against like 8 other dudes, you know?
Yeah. All right.
Uh, so Concanapple is plus 240. Damian Lillard is next favorite at plus 400. Then Jamal Murray at plus 650.
I'm gonna put $20 on Jamal.
You want to put 20 on
Plus,
Jamal?
yeah, plus
Yeah.
650.
That
Hopefully
would
I get
net
so.
you.
Yeah.
I wish the Spurs drafted Con. Con and Wimby on the same team would have been
You keep
so
repeating
good.
that. I have no desire. And let me put this on the list of CP3s and James Hardens. Another player that will entire league never win a chip. Concanapple. You heard it here.
Dang. The killer
Wow.
bees. The killer bees. Okay.
LaMelo Ball will never win a chip. Brendan Ingram will never chip. All these players, All these
They'll
players
never
that came
win.
into the league they're flashy, they're popular, whatever, but they just don't have what it takes, in my opinion, to win
Should
chips.
we
All right, well,
CP3
let's see.
appreciate?
All right, here we go. All right, so that's enough. That's enough All-Star. I mean, I feel like we
I
treated
just
our
want to
guys.
finish one thing on the All Star
Sure,
real quick.
sure, sure,
Last
sure. Go,
suggestion,
go, go, go. Do it.
just for the kids. You have not replacing the All Star game, but just another event. You have players' kids or NBA media or whatever's kids versus mascots.
Kids versus mascots.
That'd
Oh
be a
my
lot of fun.
I think if they get a mascot game, I would love that. I would love to see what Wiz or or Stuff, whatever from the Magic. Is that Would you watch?
Oh, is that the one that Jackson Hayes
Dude, what was he?
Yeah.
Where's,
we
He
were
was
laughing at
Wiz,
that
yeah.
guy.
I would love watching an All-Star mascot game, especially because I used to play NBA Jam so much, and I used to always play with the
With the
mascots.
mascot,
It was
exactly.
so fun.
You get
Rumble
the
the
kids
Bison,
involved, you
go
know.
Rumble the Bison, go Gorilla. I was into it, dude. Samson, these guys, I'm all about the
What
mascots.
is up with the creepy New Orleans baby mascot?
I didn't what?
Whoa, I haven't
I
seen
haven't
that.
seen that.
You've
What? Hold
never
on.
seen, look at the Pelicans mascot.
Okay, hold on.
You could bring up a picture.
Hold
It
on.
is it is the strangest mascot in all of sports, and
Oh, I have seen
he should
this.
not be allowed anywhere near an NBA arena.
I have
Screen
seen
share.
this. Oh, I got you. It's coming. It's coming. Here you go, boys. Here, this guy.
Oh yeah, weird.
What is this?
He's like in a bib and diapers. Like, no, thank you.
Kind
And
of
he's
like
like,
it.
he's a smoothie king.
Jay,
Jay's
It's
into
just
it.
weird. It's just
He's the
yeah, I
smoothie
like how
king.
weird it is.
You like how weird it is? You think like I love king cake? I don't know.
It's just so like weird.
he's
It's
just
like
a creepy child baby. No thanks.
it's
Okay.
so
He could be
funny.
the ref.
Yeah, these guys. I mean, I like, Chuck.
Reminds me of our president. No, I'm
Benny
just
the
kidding.
Bull. Okay, all right, guys. Benny the Bull, Rocky the Mountain Lion. I like this guy. What's his name? Moondog. I know all these names from NBA. This guy's
Bango is incredible.
Bango the Buck is cool. I like Bango.
Benny
This
the
is
Bull is great.
Champ the Mavs. So I actually do think
So
you guys.
yeah, imagine, the kids of players in the league playing against these guys. Bronny James might get a bucket. Who knows?
Come
Okay,
on, dude. Put some
okay,
respect
okay.
on Bronny's name.
Wait,
All right.
did
See
Bronny get a lot of run in the game you guys went to against the
Oh
Spurs
yeah, he
blowout?
had he had the most minutes of any
the
player.
the best
Okay,
part about
so
it was his post-game interview. They actually gave him a post-game
Yeah.
interview.
That's
Like all the
amazing.
reporters came to his
Good for
locker.
you.
It felt like he was so nervous and like obviously Bronny, no disrespect. I know you're probably watching this, but like he just looked really nervous and he was just like he almost sounded like his dad, but he would like stutter and he would just like say all these like things that didn't make sense. So it was entertaining. You should
It's
watch it.
hard.
so
It's
do you
hard.
think he has any? Do you think he has any chance? Ron's retiring 1 or 2 years. Does he have any chance to play beyond his first contract, or
Absolutely not.
is there any glimpse? Is there
Zero.
any
I don't
glimpse?
think so. I don't think
No.
so.
I think he's waived next season.
I don't think so.
Braun is off the team, and Bronny Jr. is off the team too.
They're both going to Cleveland.
Maybe
I'm
that's the only
Cleveland is not going to waste a roster spot for that.
I'm for it. I hope he goes to Cleveland. I hope Ron goes to Cleveland.
I think victory tour. I think LeBron, if he's not a Laker next year, I think go to Cleveland. Anyway, all right, boys. So look, that's the All-Star weekend. We tried to do our best to make it fun. We're gonna move on to one more topic before we wrap up for today. Okay, it's gonna be a spicy one. CP3 has officially announced his retirement. Okay, after a kind of rough. Yeah, Jay's yawning already. After kind of a rough time going back to the Clippers, not even making it to the All-Star break, getting cut, traded, waived, all this stuff. What happened? He got traded to the Raptors and then got waived, and then he announced his retirement. So we're going to talk about here. CP3, love, hate, CP3, Valentines, CP3 appreciation, CP3, what? What's his career? What's his legacy? We're going to start with Chu. I know he's your boy. Chu, what do you say?
Yeah. Chris Paul, one of the greatest to ever do it, had a bunch of bad luck, which is why he never ended up winning, including if he ever went to the Lakers, uh, to join Kobe. That would have been interesting. But he'll go down as one of the greatest players to never win a championship. And I sent a list to the group chat a couple days ago, and it had CP3 ranked at number 2 behind Charles Barkley, number 1, greatest player to never win a championship. And then it had Iverson number 3, Elgin Baylor 4, Stockton 5, Nash 6, Ewing 7, Tracy McGrady 8, Melo 9, Reggie Miller 10. So these are some of the other players that have never won a championship. And yeah, I think when we look back on Chris Paul's career, we'll think of the ultimate competitor, two-way player, efficient, tactician, never took a playoff, all the type of attributes you'd want in a point guard. He did kind of wear his welcome out in a bunch of places, but he was so
Yep.
good that it's hard to even fault that because he just wanted to win so bad. I think what we need to do when we're judging
Who
Chris Paul's
wants Chris
career,
Paul to win so bad?
listen, when we're judging Chris Paul's career, we can't really look at the last 5 years because the last 5 years, he was basically 40 years old.
So we
Most
can't we
players,
can't look at a quarter of his career.
well, if you were to compare him to Iverson, for example, Iverson was retired. Uh, Iverson played around 1,000 playoff games or career games, and Chris Paul played
Iverson
around
retired at
1,500.
34. Iverson
Yeah.
retired at 34, and CP3 retired at 40.
So every team that Chris Paul went to, he made better, except his very last team, which was, he was basically 40 years old.
He got he
So,
got passed or he got passed around the league like a wet rag, dude.
In these last few
and
years,
and you know what he did? You know what he did with every team that he went to? He immediately made them better. And he basically made every team that he went to into an instant contender, is basically what
So
happened.
it's interesting because I think you're looking at just wins and
Dude,
losses,
Yeah,
and you're
wins and
not
losses,
looking at
like the things that matter the most in
yeah.
games.
But so hold on. When he went to the Spurs, you know who else went to that team the same year? Just random guess. Who else went to the team that year?
Wemby.
There you
Har-
go. So to
Harrison
say,
Barnes.
oh, CP3 made that team better. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Look at
They
where the
brought
all
Spurs
right,
are at
all
now.
right. So Chu, you're taking CP3 over any point guard in the history of the NBA. Who you taking over him?
no.
No,
That
he's
hasn't won a
definitely
championship.
No.
that hasn't won a championship for sure. I think the list that I gave you guys, or the list that I sent, where Charles Barkley is the best player to ever win a championship, I think that's fair, and I think Chris Paul is number 2, and I don't think anything is close. Like, and I know that we should talk about Iverson versus Chris Paul because um, that's a great
Jay, you
discussion.
take it away on Iverson over here. Tell me why you're taking Iverson over CP3.
I just think people really feared Allen Iverson in the league. I think if you were going up against Allen Iverson, he was going to be dropping at least 25 points on you, and he was going to embarrass you doing it. And it was going to be a fight. It was going to be a game. I think I really don't appreciate the way that Chris Paul like I think Coach Theory has always said like he just plays the refs. He doesn't actually play the game, and he just a lot of things that to me were always just like kind of fake. And so I just don't really have that. I don't have love for Chris Paul the way that Shu does. Obviously, he's a Clipper, and I get it. But going through the stats, I think Chris Paul has a little bit more, more seasons, more playoffs played, even though that doesn't matter because neither of
Sure.
them really won. But Chris Paul also has never been to the finals.
And yes,
Allen
With the
did?
he
Suns, not as a
he went with the
leader.
Suns.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that
okay.
one time where they lost. Well, look, if you have, I got the stats here up on Basketball Reference. This is AI, right? AI came into the league. He was his rookie year. He was actually got an MVP vote. He won Rookie of the Year,
I mean,
MVP.
I think one of the main differences is, AI's got an MVP, uh, one rookie of the year, and he was also the best player on his team. He was the leader of his team. He led his Sixers to the finals, whereas CP3 was always a piece of a team.
Chris Paul was definitely the best player on his team for many, many years.
Check
Which
out check.
which which team? The
I got you,
Clippers?
Jay. I got you,
Oh,
Jay.
He
Nola.
was
Yeah.
This one's
Okay,
good.
on Nola.
New
Fine. What
This
did
Orleans
one's
Nola
good.
do?
Clippers, Thunder, and
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
then
whoa,
yeah,
whoa, whoa. You're saying Chris
Rockets.
Paul was the best player on the Thunder?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
This
Okay,
this,
right.
this one's
hold on.
good. This one's good. Look at the honors and MVPs, honors and awards.
You're saying Chris. So the only team I think Chris Paul was the best player on the
Which
team was
one,
with
Jay?
with Nola. And what did Nola
and the
do?
Clippers.
No,
Trust me,
dude.
he was the best player in the Clippers for sure. It's not even close.
He was on the Clippers, but
You could see here in this chart that Mark has up, you can just see all the different accolades and the honors and stuff.
scoring
And like,
leader, assist leader, like it's like
Okay, well, what
I
about
mean,
this? All defensive teams. Chris Paul has 9 all defensive teams. Iverson has 0. That alone kills the debate.
well,
That's
I
all you
I
need to
just
do
see.
agree his defense was better.
in his
Didn't
prime, CP3 was a really elite defender. But I'm actually surprised that
Oh,
Iverson.
they
I
both
thought
won Rookie
Iverson
of the
was a
Year.
better defender. I didn't realize he would had no. I mean, I guess he wasn't like an elite all defensive first team, but
he was too small?
he had no all defense. Wow, and nine
Yeah.
selections.
Didn't he lead the league in steals one year?
yes, he did. So,
That actually does
Chris
So
might
how
Paul
do you
did that
lead?
6 times.
but look, look,
a conversation.
Allen Iverson had more career steals or averaged more career steals than Chris Paul.
So yeah, why
Like
wasn't
point
he?
two.
Maybe those defensive teams were tougher to get on. I don't know.
Maybe
Well,
stats don't tell the whole picture.
Also
these
Correct.
that.
numbers, these numbers, these numbers are so clear in favor of Chris Paul. Wow. I'm glad you pulled this up here because this basically this is a
Look at the points per
demonstrative.
game, though.
No,
It's not even close.
Iverson, I think, was a better scorer. CP3 definitely had more, he was more of a floor general, but he could score. But
CP was
What do
way
you,
more efficient. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this efficiency.
It's a
He's
different
better
league,
free throw,
man.
free point, and field goal.
all right, here we go. Now we're getting into the playoff numbers. Okay, so
okay,
there's a lot of stuff
we can
here.
end it on this. We can end it on
Yeah,
this.
let's do it. Let's hear it, Jay. Why? Like, bring
Kobe
it home.
Bryant's most famous quote regarding Allen Iverson: "We should all be fortunate that Allen Iverson wasn't 6'5".
Exactly.
Yeah, totally. Imagine Chris Paul at 6'5". God,
Yeah, I think that
it'd be
there.
Michael Jordan.
I don't know. I do think that Chris Paul's game is in his prime. Thinking about how he plays now versus how he was in his prime, you got to separate that. But you know what? I don't know why. I love
I do love
Iverson.
Iverson though, but it's just not fair to compare the two. I mean, he's dope, but it's not even
Not
close.
fair.
Did you ever
Not
have the?
fair.
I wore those questions. I had those shoes.
The
I wore
question
those.
marks,
I
the
had sick.
Reeboks,
Those
Yeah,
questions were
those are
so
sick.
cool. Those
those
are the
things were
sickest shoes.
tough.
I
Did
used to
Chris Paul
rock
ever
them.
even get a shoe?
Okay,
Yeah,
debate
I think he has
over.
a
No,
shoe.
who
I
has a
mean,
Chris Paul
he
shoe?
got an
Who wears
all-state
Chris
deal.
Paul's shoe?
No one wears Chris Paul shoes. That's the thing.
The
That
refs
that
do.
the rest.
Okay, here's
All
this
right,
too.
and
Not
we'll wrap
only
up
did
after that.
not
Yeah.
only was Allen Iverson one of the most feared offensive players to ever play the game, he also was probably the biggest person responsible for the cultural shift that happened in the NBA. He created like an urban street vibe, and he brought that to the sidelines. He brought that to the way that he dressed during the games and his accessories and his persona. Like
I
he
do like
brought
that.
energy to the NBA that it was lacking before, where they were all in suits or they were all like this. So I would say that Allen Iverson is a far, far superior influence
On the
uh
culture, sure. Sure.
on the culture.
But do you see how many guys flop these days? That's Chris Paul influence.
Thank you.
Well, look, we'll end with that, right? Okay, boys. So this has been
Thank
another.
you for ruining our game, Chris Paul.
Okay. Valentine looks like
No, let's finish it with Chris
some
Paul on
heartbreak.
this. What do you guys think he's gonna do after he retires? Is he gonna be a coach? Is he
Look,
gonna
I
be a ref?
I thought he was gonna be a coach. I thought he was gonna be someone who the players love to be around and the players wanted to be around. Like they listened to him, and I felt like at a certain stage of his career, it looked like he had that. But then something happened along the way in these last few years where I think players like they tuned him out. That's why they keep shipping him off to like he went to the Spurs, went to the Warriors, now he went to the Clippers. They even cut him from the Clippers, where his glory days were there. I don't think that people listen to him the way that I thought that they would. I don't think
Yeah,
he's going to be
I
a
think he's
coach.
just kind of a dick, honestly. I think people just don't like him.
All that Cliff Paul stuff. I don't think he's going to be a coach. I don't think that they're going to give him a chance after what they've seen
Oh,
him do.
is he not? Because a lot of these legends that you talk about, they stick around the NBA. Is he gonna do a podcast? What's he gonna do?
I think
We'll
he'll get a
we'll
shot to be a
welcome him on the
commentator.
show. Let's
Yeah, I'll
welcome
bring
him
him
on the
on. We
show.
can bring him on the show. I think he'll be a. I think he'll get a. I think maybe he'll do some commentating in a little bit,
Let's
like
reach out to his agent. What's his State Farm agent?
Cliff
Jake?
Paul.
Jake
There
from
you
State
go.
Paul? Or Jake from State Farm?
There you go. Let's reach out to Jake and
All right, boys. So happy All-Star weekend. Happy Valentine's Day. Wishing you guys no heartbreaks, and we'll see you guys next week. We're out.
Bye,
Later.
guys.
Peace.